what you've done and there are two things. The biggest testament I think that you have left is what you have done with your health and the message that it sends. Because you're right. When we talk to older populations, or when the World Health Organization talks to older populations, it's kind of along the conversation line of, well, the dream is kind of dead. Let's just figure out a way to keep you walking for the next 10 years until you die. And that is it's just one of the most important things for me, especially when I work with older populations, is the understanding, first and foremost, that your age does not determine your standing with your health. That's a lie. You've been told a lie pretty much your entire life, that you must age a certain way. By this age, you're going to be doing this. By this age, you're not going to be doing this. If you are somebody who takes this seriously, and especially if you're somebody who trains consistently, and I think that's probably the most important part, is that you don't take long bouts of, 5-10 years away from the gym and then try to come back. And because the older we get, the harder that process becomes. More of an uphill battle each time we take that break.
Absolutely.
But staying consistently in the gym and with somebody who actually knows what they're doing, you can stay at this level literally until you leave this earth. There is no reason that you have to be that guy in the walker.
No, you can start at any age, literally at any age, and you can gain muscle at any age. People think there's no way I can. I don't have enough testosterone or whatever. You can generate and increase muscle strength and muscle mass at any age.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you, one of the biggest side benefits that people don't think about, and it's very, very important for an older population, is bone density.
Yes.
And
thank you for bringing that up.
When you train consistently, resistance training consistently, you will, just like you can improve muscle, and a little bit different process, but it's kind of the same thing where you break down your muscle and it builds up stronger.
Yeah.
Same thing with the bone. When you put pressure on the either end of the bone, and it attracts calcium to there's electronic charge that attracts it, and it actually builds the muscle up. So 2 years ago, I had a body scan, a DEXA scan done, and it reveals muscle and body mass and fat, percentage of fat and all that, but also measured bone density. Well, on the scale of their scale, it only went up to 60 and over, but a score of 2.5Z on their scale was 2 standard deviations above the mean. So it's better than 97% of the population.
Right.
My score was 5.2. It's like 5 standard deviations above the mean. It's like there's not 4 people in the world that are my age that have that kind of bone density.
Yep.
And I wasn't born that way, I guarantee you. My mother would have screamed if I had that kind of bone density coming out the chute, I think. But so that's an unintended consequence. I didn't realize that was, and most people don't understand that.
Yeah.
But when you hear of older people, what do you hear so often? Somebody falls, they trip over their dog, they fall, they break their hip, and then they die.
That's the beginning of the end.
Yeah. That's the beginning of the end.
And you're
literally, you could drop me off the top of your building here, and I would
break the ground he lands on.
But I don't want to try it. But
make sure he signs the waiver first.
Well, it's also this misunderstanding. It's like, oh, well, even if you are going to be, active in your older years, you need to switch over to water aerobics, or you need to be doing like maybe hot yoga. That's not true. You need to be lifting free weights. You need to be challenging yourself forever.
Yeah, and I mean, some doctors and clinicians will say, well, you should walk more, and there's nothing against walking, or there's nothing against cardio, but it won't make you stronger. It won't improve your bone density. You're not getting any resistance training doing that.
You're not going to be safer if you fall to break your hip. If you are walking a lot, you are going to be if you do deadlifts. If you work those, abductors, if you're doing that kind of strength training, targeting the area that you're worried about. That's what's going to save you.
Absolutely.
And it's important to note that. And again, getting back to the point that this didn't happen for you by accident. You started at a late age, and now you have, because I watched that video about your bone density, and they showed the scan, and they showed you lifting, and said you had the bone mineral density of a guy in like his 30s or his 40s. Like, that's the type of strength that your bones have built up over years of you doing that.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
But never thought about that.
No, because no one talks about it.
No one talks about it.
No one talks about it.
But for the older population, it's one of the most important gains you can get from resistance training is doing that.
Oh yeah. It's a
I
true
mean,
testament.
forget the idea of being able to pick up your grandchild or, still be vibrant and be able to do those kinds of fun things.
Quality of life.
Quality
Definitely.
of life, absolutely.
And even beyond like excelling at the quality of life beyond guys that are younger. Right now, you have the heaviest squat bench dead of anybody in this room. Sincerely. And that's incredible.
Well,
I mean, that's amazing.
yeah, well, thank you for that. But
Yeah.
Again, I didn't set out to set world records, but once it started, it's like, how far can we go with this thing? Let's just see. And I'm not done yet.
No, I can tell. It's unfinished. and that shirt, that word, it's so much more than just your physical health is not, you're not finished lifting. You're not finished living.